Hello, everyone. My name is Chase, and today I am bringing you the first time that Spider-Man on YouTube has soloed all of the 6.4 bosses. I figured I would go through here and I would see if I could solo all these endgame bosses with one of the best characters in the game currently. He is rank 4, and I do plan on going through 6.3, 6.2, 6.1, seeing what I can solo in there. There should be some tougher fights in there that might not be possible. I know Medusa is for sure not possible. I'm excited to bring this to you guys. I've been working on this for a couple weeks now. With this game not having much content to do. So I figured I'd come on here, get this done, and start a YouTube channel, I guess. If you guys want me to do any war content, I can. I'm going to try to commentate this whole thing, so yeah, see how that goes. I'd love if you guys subscribe, leave a comment, like the video. Again, I'm just starting this YouTube channel, so anything is appreciated because I'd like to get more gameplay of a rank 4 Spider-Man out there, especially on endgame content, and show you guys that he is a great counter for most of all these fights. I mean, he's got great damage, great utility. I mean, if you look at this fight, I was able to survive the, what is that, cold snap, I think, from Iceman. Again, I'm using no boost, so this is just Spider-Man 29. I think I had a synergy with Miles Morales that gives him 7% health, which was nice, but wasn't a necessity. As long as I finish with more than 7%, then we're good. But his damage is just, it's kind of crazy, even without boost. You see that's, what was that, like about 2 minutes for that Iceman, and that's pretty big health pool. These are all separate videos, of course, cut together. Next up, we got Thor Rags in 6.4.2. This fight, I had to do a couple times because you get clipped once with his special and you die. And what's really nice in most matchups is there's no buffs with Spider-Man. But the one thing I'll admit that does suck is that when I go to use the Heimdall synergy, and he doesn't gain the buffs, and then gotta restart the whole path. But this was a good fight. I played it a lot more safe. I didn't go for any heavy counters, because I felt that if I tried heavy countering, then I could die. I could miss space of time. I don't fight Thor Rags a lot, so I didn't feel comfortable with that. If you see, I'm just going for more of the damage. Placing the ruptures on his block is really nice. It's actually you'll see it soon, where that is one of the biggest damage outputs you can get from Spidey. Once you get to 20 of those ruptures, it is very nice for the damage that's just ticking down on the opponents. But yeah, this fight, it's a little bit long. It had the 15 hits that had to be done before you could start dealing damage. Death Touch is one of the most annoying nodes in the game, in my opinion. It doesn't count through block, though, which is nice. So if you parry, you don't die. I know I had a couple close calls here that you'll see where I almost get to 3 bars of power. I have to throw some L1s. But right now, I'm controlling it pretty well. I think I'll throw probably an SB2 right here. Stop that. That burst damage, though, is just crazy. I really like this fight. I feel like it's a good fight. The damage is just constantly taking him down. You got my withers that are stopping his power gain. And I'm up to 2 withers. Now, I will admit, this fight is a little bit hard to dex because Thor Rag's specials are difficult to dex in the way that you aren't going to be dexing them because you're so far away from them already that you don't need to dex them. But in case you don't know how to play Spider-Man 2099, or you just haven't seen a lot of gameplay, what you want to do is you always want to get that wither up. That wither reduces combat power rate by, no, not combat power rate, sorry, ability power rate by like, what is it? It's 125 or 150%. I don't know it by heart, but it does really good reduction. And then reverse a power gain. You can stack like 5 of them, which I think I stacked a lot against Iceman actually, but there's no power gain to reverse. Once you have that on there, once you have the wither on, then you can hit into the block. You'll put the ruptures on. The ruptures deal damage. The way that his burst damage works on the SB2 is every unique buff that Spiderman has, there will be a certain percentage that increases for the damage. See, like, this was one of the things I was saying. I had to use that SB1 or else he was going to grab that SB3 and kill me. So what you really want to do is you want to be able to go in here. When you get to that SB2, make sure his power gain is controlled. I mean, this fight could have been better. I didn't play it as clean as it could have been. Oh, yeah, the heavies. The heavies put on exhaustion, which I think, yeah, the exhaustion stops 15% power rate, ability power rate, which is really nice because when you have just that tiny bit of reduction, it allows you to get back up to your SB2 to just stomp the opponent. And, you know, it's a big hit counter, I'll admit, but safe fight. I mean, what was it, like 3 minutes? 3.5 minutes? 4 minutes, sorry. Next up is Darkhawk. Now, this is a fun fight. So this is going to have, you know, you got Lionheart, Hurt Locker. So, Hurt Locker, you can't throw the same special in a row. So you're going to see me. I think I do throw the same special in a row. But this fight is all about surviving the special ones. So what I'm going to do here is I don't have the double decks on Darkhawk down as a player. So what I do is I try to parry the first beam and then dex out of the last beam. Also, he has like a percentage chance to just randomly apply ruptures. So that's cool. It does damage. They pop whenever you push him over an SP1. His SIG ability, once it's SIG 200, which minus SIG 200, it's like 80% chance they don't get consumed when they pop. And you get like 20 to 25% combat power rate when you have a wither up. So also all these fights I do use the White Mag's pre-fight just because it's nice to have that passive stun and to have that tiny bit of damage increase. So yeah, just this is, you know, it's a slow fight. There's a lot of specials because he has the reserve power gain. I got clipped right there, which was fun. Felt really good, you know. I hit this just for the good old physical thingies. Can't remember the name. But again, it's another debuff for the SB2 and of course the Hurt Locker. But those don't do much. They just kind of act as another debuff for the SB2. I don't think I've started doing it yet, but I will start hitting into his block a lot for the ruptures. I'm getting good RNG on the ruptures right now, it looks like, which is nice. See that? That was a pretty big burst of the rupture. There's like, I mean, that's just crazy damage. I mean, it's just ridiculous what you can get from a rank 4 champion. So he's not in his mode. I think I'm going to try to keep him out of his mode now. I think my goal here is to keep this wither up and try to keep it up the rest of the fight without throwing another special. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to bait out every SP1. I'm going to get that little dex. By the way, dexing pauses all my personal debuffs for Spider-Man 29.9. Now, what I'm doing here is hitting it to the block while you have a wither on applies a rupture. And what's really nice is these ruptures being on there, they're going to continuously do damage and they're going to pop every time. So when they pop, they deal a nice burst of damage. And just look at that. Like, that is crazy amounts of damage. I mean, I have, what, 16 ruptures? And I'm pausing all my debuffs because I'm constantly dexing his special. you know? So these debuffs are not going anywhere. And I'm making sure I don't do anything stupid like pushing them to an SP2. I'm not using my SP3. My SP3 is not needed right now. The SP3 will come into play next fight. I do use SP3 next fight. Sorry. Next fight is a fun fight. But yeah, if you look, I mean, people tell me he hits like a noodle. He doesn't have good damage. And just those ruptures are ridiculous. Like, these aren't fast fights, but they're like 500,000 health points. I mean, it's end game fights. Oh, no, not this fight. This fight's okay. You know, it's an interesting fight because I think I get clipped a lot in this fight. Sorry, I'm sorry. I think I get clipped a lot in this fight, if I remember correctly. But I don't do energy damage. It's not a mystic. So I'm not going to hurt her any extra. She has, like, all these things that every time I heavy, she's going to get 3 of her electric charge things. See, I missed that. Every time she throws that, she's going to get 3 of them. I think I am going to go for this, which was stupid because every time she goes into binary, she's going to purify all debuffs. So what I should have done was throw a heavy, and then after she was... Excuse me. After she was in binary, I should have thrown the SP2. You know, you make mistakes, you learn from the mistakes. See right there? See how I threw that heavy? Then I was able to... Now, I suck at baiting the not baiting, but I suck at dexing the SP2. So I'm going to constantly go for SP1s from her. Now, if you saw, that didn't do much damage. That was like 1,500 per each hit in red damage. I had no other debuffs up, which sucked. But yeah, this fight is more about controlling what she does than anything else. Luckily, Spidey has really good damage output, in my opinion, to where he can not only survive the degen that I'm going to take, but he can get clipped like 4 or 5 times and still do crazy numbers. I mean, it's a rank 4. I get that. I really do. But you have to understand that there's some rank 4s that would still hit like noodles. So I really hope that if a lot of people do get to see this and get to watch this, that you guys, if you aren't a Spidey fan, you give him another shot. Just go play some content with him. I mean, when I do 6.2, I want to say, what is it, 6.2.3? Icarus, sorry, I'm tired, I'm yawning so much. Icarus, he is one of the best counters for Icarus, in my opinion. Because his debuffs, so the way his pausing works is anytime you gain a buff, instead of gaining the buff, see right there, that made me angry. That really made me angry. But anytime you gain a buff, sorry, I'm going to have a couple of snaps and a few text messages. I forgot to put on Do Not Disturb, and re-going through these fights is not gonna happen. It's not even the fights themselves. Like, if I was able to just do the fight without having to go through the whole path and use all the energy, I'd be happy doing it until I, got like a perfect run. But when you have to do all the fights through the path, it's better off getting a solo, and you just take the solo that you get. So to me, a solo is a solo, whether it's at 5% health or 90% health. So I personally feel like this fight is one of the longer ones. It might not actually be via minutes, but it just feels long. See, that was a good SP2. I like that. That was really nice. Once you get debuffs up and you start pounding her, it's nice. It's nice damage. I'm really hopeful that this can help some people see the brighter side of Spidey. Because I still hear a lot of people talk about how he's... See, look, clip. I mean, yeah, I know the node and everything, but he has this physical resistance also that gets put on him whenever he gets touched. And I think once you get up to 5 of them, you use one and it gives you a longer debuff pause. I think. Don't quote me on that. I kind of just play the character from most of the stuff I know. I'm decently well versed on his. I couldn't tell you the numbers, but I can tell you most of the stuff. Like, I haven't talked about the SP3 yet because my plan is to talk about the SP3 in this next fight, because this next fight is really nice. Yeah, that was almost a 5-minute fight, so that was a long fight, I'll admit. Now, this is 531,000 health points, so you're going to see, I'm going to put on the White Mag Spear fight. Again, this is all of 6.4, arguably the most health, most attack, hardest part of Act 6. And Spider-Man he's going to solo all these bosses. So this is 6.4.5. And we got right here this Adaptoid. Now, the trickiest part of this Adaptoid, I actually remember iteming out against him the day 6.4 came out. Could not get past this guy. I went through it with Domino, I think, and parry heavied and crap. It was not fun. But if you see, there's this power gain that he has on him, and then there's these Unstoppables. Now, what you're going to notice is I don't have any way to deal with Unstoppable currently. But once he throws that, I'm going to throw my SP3. Now, what's really nice about the SP3 is it puts a really long slow on the opponent and a nice long stun on the opponent. So now he can still have the Unstoppable activated, but it won't actually work. And another nice thing is the slow counts towards 5 personal debuffs, like 5 uniques. So look at that, 12k burst damage per each hit. And there's like, what, 6 or 7? It's ridiculous in damage. And I'm able to fire off so many of these because of, look at that. Just that's crazy damage. I mean, and because of the one mastery, what is it? So I'm not able to think of it right now. But the mastery that for each debuff, it reduces the opponent's healing. I'm able to stop his healing too. I mean, his power gain, look at that. That's draining. And I actually don't want it to drain right now. So, I mean, this is just, it's crazy. No healing. I mean, I'm just rapidly throwing these SP2s. I've kept the slow up the whole entire fight. Whole fight with the slow. I mean, I'm not even... I don't think... Do I even need another S? Yeah, I think I throw one more. Yeah, just for style points. Now, how long was that fight? What was that, like 2 minutes? Let's see. 2 minutes. 2 minutes for a 6.4.5 fight. Now this... this is a fun fight. Excuse this gameplay, because this gameplay is rough, but it is a solo. So, Spidey is pretty good for this fight. He has good damage. I will defend this guy against anyone that says he has bad damage, because he doesn't have bad damage. He doesn't. But I took the path where if I get 3 blunders, I lose. So... pretty much one of the harder paths, in my opinion, if you're trying to get a solo. Because, the one with the, not the hardest, but one of the harder ones, because you mess up 3 times, you're done. But look at that. I mean, that's ridiculous. 450. I mean, come on. I'm just going to heavy all the way through. Now, against the Grandmaster, the debuffs don't matter at all, because... you're not going to have that extra damage. It's about following the prompts, getting the prompts done. We all know how to solo the Grandmaster. So, now, what does suck is you're going to notice later on that I can't do one of the prompts. I can't do the gain a buff prompt. So, I have 2 technically. I have 2 cycles to get to... whatever percentage I have to get to. I did this fight probably like 2 weeks ago at this point, so I don't remember really. But again, I get clipped a lot. Like, I get clipped a ton. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build up my tokens of competence so that I can do as much damage as physically possible. See, here's my gain of buff. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm going to have to fail this. So I'm hoping that he's going to throw my his special one to gain me more tokens of competence. There we go. Was my first one. 2 more and I automatically lose. So here we go. Look at that. We're getting there. I mean, it's just... It's going to be some good damage. I don't think I get many crits here, which really made me mad at the time. There we go. Okay. So, you're going to see later on that I actually reduce his power gain by a lot, which kind of hurts. But right now, I think we have to get to, what, 50%, if I remember correctly? And Spidey has really hard-hitting attacks. And his ruptures count as inflicting a damaging debuff, which is really nice. So, you know, at this point in the fight, I'm not feeling confident. I would say I'm like, you know what, I have a chance to solo, but I don't know if I'm going to solo. But it's nice. It feels good. And if you like any of this gameplay you're seeing, please, please, please hit the subscribe button. Give me a like. Give me a comment. Anything you say, whether it's good, bad, anything, just tell me something. You know, this is my first ever YouTube video. So I'm just trying, you know, to put out some content during this very dull period of MCOC. Rank 4 Spider-Man 2099. One of the best characters in this game currently. And not only is he one of the best characters in this game, but he is top 3 released last year, without a doubt. Personally, I'd rank him 1 or 2. Kitty, she's pretty good. I don't have one yet. That's why I don't know. I'd definitely give Hercules rank 3. I'm sorry to all you Hercules lovers. He's a great champ. I don't have him awakened yet, so I can't really say that he's, you know, the best champ. If I had him awakened, maybe. But back to this fight, you know, I'm doing the damage that has to be done. Like, this damage, it's good, you know? I was able to get through without 3 blunders, which is really nice. Now, if you look, I'm able to heavy spam because my exhaustions are currently doing 75% reduction in power gain. So he is barely gaining any power whatsoever. And this is both, it's a double-edged sword, because what you want to do is the SB1s get, no, not the SB1s, SB, his Grandmaster's SB1s give you tokens of competence, which are really important in order to deal more damage. So what you're going to see is I get clipped. Okay, there we go. Then I think I'm going to go for an SB3, if I remember correctly. I think I'm going to hit an SB3 for the knockdown. I'm going to do a little combo into SB3. I don't think that... Oh, yeah. Skip it. Okay, so right here, what I did was... I thought the reverse controls meant my block was my heavy and my heavy was my block. So I tried blocking instead of... It was bad. I could have done a butt ton more damage, and I just biffed. I biffed hard. But right here, you know, we're going through here. We're just following the prompts. I'm not heavy spamming because I need more tokens. I think it would have been okay if I didn't biff so hard with the stupid reverse controls, because it did hurt a lot. But right here, you know, we're just getting these prompts done. I think I might hit an SB2 if I remember correctly. Or an SB1 maybe for knockdown. No. Do I hit anything? That pauses it. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for an SB2. No, the SP2 won't deal as much damage. I don't think it does any burst damage. Yeah, no burst damage right here. Still good crits, though. I mean, I have to get these perfect blocks. There we go. Look at that. I mean, that's just crazy, isn't it? So what's going to happen here is... I'm sorry if there's any background noise. But what we're hoping for is to not die. So that's fun, you know. We're living on the edge right now. And we're hitting this for the adrenaline. Again, the debuffs don't matter right now. I should not have skipped any SB3s. When I was recording this, I thought I was going to die. And I wanted to skip the SB3 just to get back into the fight while I was still tangible. While I still felt like I could actually still solo this. But I did not feel confident right here. Like, literally, I'm one tap. You know? Good old reference. One tap right now. Oh, man. One more prompt. Can I get him down? Oh, man. Prompt RNG is on my side. Here we go. Heavy. Am I going to... No, I'm an SB2. Heavy. Boom. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go very close. There we go. Now, I think I'm going to do some light intercepts. Then we're going to light. Back up. Light. Light, light. Light, light, light. Light, light, light. And then I'm just going to dex. Do I leave the SB3 here? I might skip it. I'm not sure. Nah, I'm letting you guys see this. Oh, yeah, look at that. That is one of the coolest animations. And there it is. Long, I'll admit, long fight. But